Your turn.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you guys a question. What is your inspiration? Like, it's so many things that go on around you, and I know it's stressful in high school and stuff like that. So what is your inspiration to keep doing and motivate yourself on what you're doing?
Well, I think we all just have we get the motivation just from like the love of the art. That's the main thing. And I think when you have love for something that you're doing, you're going to do it regardless of like anything that's in your way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like school, all this other stuff. And trust me, I've been mad busy, but like I've been trying to make way for like my music and my poetry and all that. And so you just gotta
prioritize.
Yeah, prioritize and just know where your head's at and do what you gotta do. So.
Yeah.
I would say for me, because I didn't come to poetry like originally out of like, oh, because it's this art, I now have come to love it that way. But I think my primary motivation is maybe more related to what that first caller was talking about. I feel like a lot of times there's trouble relating between generations, between people of different races, of different neighborhoods, different schools, whatever. And so I'm motivated by what I see as like the power of this art and of our sort of coming together in these spaces to do this art, to bring people together and to build understanding between people who are so different from each other. And that's what keeps me doing it when I feel like, even when I feel like I don't have anything to write about or like my writing isn't that good, whatever, it really is about the community for me.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Real talk.
Yeah, thing that keeps me writing, I've learned that our generation is afraid to speak up for things that they don't like or that don't settle with them. So instead of like doing something about it, like teenagers back in like the 60s, 70s would, like, they don't stand up for anything. They just accept it. And when you accept something, it becomes a norm. So it no longer becomes a problem. So when new problems develop, you're just screwed. So there's no one to speak for these. There's no one to speak for these problems. So like as a poet, like I feel like that's something I took on, and that's what keeps me writing, like to make sure that my message gets out.
Right.
All right. So we're about to go to a quick music break, and we'll be back with 2K Nation.
Oh, man. I didn't say why I started writing yet.
That was awesome.
I did.
I was about to go to him, but then you asked a question.
It's good though. It's good though.
You got something right.
Okay,
so remember, nobody can see them. So one of them are going to talk. You got to say, Jesse, tell me the first time you ate a poem. You know, it's got to be. I'm just saying.
You say 8, make it a poem.
I ate a poem once. I was joking.
What are you doing?
I'm a boy. I don't gotta leave, do I?
You can stay. That was a great question.
Right, I wanna leave.
Okay, and then make sure when you come back, you reintroduce the show, reintroduce our 3 guests. Here
it makes your breath smell like pepper, not peppermint, just the pepper.
Yeah, more points.
Yes.
She's like, yeah.
More points and then any callers that come in between the points.
Yes. That was awesome.
Go to them, and then we'll have you read something on the way out. Okay, it'll be our outro for the night. Okay.
Oh, we almost done? We only have, how many times you gonna get to read the poem again?
We just keep going around. Now, if you don't have any more poems, just put your hand up like, I'm out. I'm out of here.
I mean, I can do, how many do we have time for?
We'll see.
I'm so sorry.
It's based on how the show goes, so we'll see. And then we'll also get, before they leave, more information about Louder Than a Bomb. And remember, it's Louder Than a Bomb, so you haven't been writing this down. And he gave you those little cards.
Hey, look, I wasn't even dancing this time. I was saying just...
She was like, when Eric Dougie's is the funniest.
I dug you?
No, you Dougie when they were flex. You were like,
Oh, yeah. can't tell you.
Louder than a bomb. So.
Like, it's so funny watching her talk.
So you
She
got
was like,
that.
she was trying to remember not to put her hands on the table. She was like,
Oh yeah. If you hit the table, yeah. Mike gets very upset if you hit the table.
Mike will be alright. You'll be alright.
Just say okay.
I said Mike gets.
Okay.
I said Mike gets upset if you hit the table. Okay. All right, let's get ready to come back. And we'll go around one more time and then more questions for the poets.
Okay. If somebody asked me how I started off, it's like, nah.
oh, you could, you don't forget to let him answer. Did you answer, right? You ain't answer?
No, I ain't answered that one.
You were the first one to answer.
You should show again, Z. Just
No,
let
I'm
him answer
saying,
again.
no, the love thing I did, but I'm talking about like how it started.
Yeah, how he started, right? He ain't get the
I
answer.
didn't get to answer that.
Word.
And I have a really cool story. I like to tell people.
Yeah.
The story. I'll try not to make it long-winded for the radio, but
My story's lame. I like the girl.
That's like
isn't that like Kosie's story?
That's like that's half the poets I know. Story.
You do poetry too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna read his poem at the end.
He is. Stamps. Are you gonna come live on a mama Saturday? If you can.
Yeah.
Alright.
You
might. You might. You have to be there.
It's like he gonna tell everybody else to come.
Alright. Good evening and welcome to 2K Nation and WPFW 89.3. I'm your host, Z, and tonight's show is our monthly spoken word show. Our guests tonight are the members from the DC Youth Slam team, Eric, Jesse, and Asia. Joining me on the panel from the 2K Nation staff is Takiria.
Hey.
We would love for you to join our discussion by calling 202-588-0893. What are your thoughts or questions on the topic? Alright, so Eric, you didn't get to answer the last question. So why did you start writing?
Well, I'm actually an MC, a rapper, and I first started. I came home one day from school because I was sick and all that, and I got out late from music class and all that, and we were practicing the Star Spangled Banner. This was in 5th grade or something like that, and so I was just laying in the bed looking at the clock because I was sick and all that, so I ain't had nothing to do. And I was just thinking about the song and how it was real hypocritical and all that. I was like, land of the free, home of the brave. Well, wasn't black people slaves back then? Hold up. And then the Native Americans, nah, that song ain't right. And so I thought of a rhyme that would win it. And I've always loved music and hip hop and all that. And so I was like, land of the free and home of the brave. So said the whites, but the African slave. And I had 5 other different variations of that rhyme, but that was the main rhyme. And so after that, I was like, I should be a rapper. and so I went to one of the other members of the team named Kosi. Shout out to Kosi. He was going to this open mic that they was having over at Bus Boys and Poets on 5th and K. And so that was my first time performing, because I had gone there to see him perform and maybe do something myself, but he actually didn't show up to that one. And so I ended up doing one of my songs, only I did in a spoken word fashion. And so, yeah,